if we have that, so that we can showcase like what all the
User
installation.
screenshot. No, I didn't get the time. I'll just do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is my week off, so let me do that tomorrow, and then I'll send you all the screenshots.
Okay, no worries, no worries. So fine, we'll start with the topic. And with regard to that installation part, I'm going to upload the video on my YouTube channel, so you people can see those videos, and I will explain each and every topic, how we perform, how we did the installation for VM, and then we on top of VM how we install the OS, and on top of OS how we install the database part. Even though in between we got some challenges, so we'll discuss about those things also in the video. So I'll upload that video as soon as possible. So let's come to the topic of today's, what we are going to discuss. 1 minute. I'm sharing my screen. 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
So is my screen visible to everyone?
Yes, yes, your screen is visible.
Okay. So hope everyone remember our first session what we discussed on our Oracle database architecture. So there, like as we know, like we need a user to connect to the database. Without a user, like we are not able to connect it. And whenever a user connect to a database, it will create a user process, and the same user will create a server process inside your database, so that that process can be monitored and taken care by the database. And all this complete, it will perform as a session of a particular user. Hope you people remember that. Or
Yes, yes, Rahul, we remember it.
okay. So with this diagram, you can able to understand. Okay. In this, it is kind of user. Let's say username XYZ. He wanted to fetch a data select operation. He wanted to do. So the moment he will to perform that action, his user ID should be there in the database. So as his user ID is created there, the moment he will connect to the database one with the help of user process, and like the moment he will connect with the database, there will be a server process which will going to be established in a database. Okay. And it will going to create a session or dedicated channel, we can say, for that particular user to perform his operation. So whatever operation he will going to perform, it will going to capture or it will be there in that particular session. Okay. So here you can see like how the connection is getting established with the help of user process and server process, and the entire process here, it is kind of session, like it is getting a created as session. So he wanted to perform that select operation. So inside a database, when we wanted to check like what is going on inside that particular database, with that particular user, we can able to see like in the background, like some select operation is performed with the help of that user. And with that user, it will going to create a session ID and also serial ID. Based on that, if needed, we can able to kill that particular user. Okay. Coming. So let's understand what is user, what is database user, and why we need it. So as I explained in the previous slide, So to perform any action into a database, we require a database user. Without a proper authentication, you will not able to perform a single operation in a database, right? So, like that's why we require this database user. So, like what are the properties of that particular user? It should be there. Like you can able to see here, like the username should be unique name. It cannot exceed more than 30 bytes, cannot contain a special character, like must start with a letter. Like these are the condition, like based on those condition you need to create a particular user. Okay, then authentication method you have to choose. Like there is basically three authentication method. One is password, the another one is global, and the third one is external. So when it is coming to the password, in most of the organization, and I think most of us, like we are using the password method, where we are directly giving the user ID and password of that particular user, and we are able to connect to the database, giving the IP and port, all those details with our user ID and password. We are able to do it. Okay. There are also methods called external authentication or like global authentication. So in case of external authentication, it is like that particular user, he don't does not need that password kind of thing. Okay, it is like it is integrated with another method, like it might be integrated with the server, it might be integrated with the biometric or certificate or token. But in that case, he just have to connect with his user, and if that particular token or if that particular certificate is enabled for that particular user, he will able to connect it. Okay, global is also same as like password authentication, but it include that external property also. If we wanted to connect with the password, or if we wanted to connect with this like external authentication, that option can be chosen in this method. Okay, so whenever we are creating that particular user, we have to define like what kind of authentication method we are going to use for that particular user. Okay, and it is not mandatory, but if you are not going to set a default table space of a particular user, then it will going to take the default table space of your database. Okay, let's say I have created one user called Rahul in a particular database, and I have not assigned any dedicated table space or like any default table space for Rahul user. Okay, so in a database called employee, if there is a table main table space, like default table space, there will be a salary. Let's say someone has created salary as a default table space. Okay, if I have not assigned any default table space for Rahul user, it will by default it will going to take the salary as a default table space, which means if what all operation I'm going to do inside, like operation in the sense like suppose if there is a set of object, if I am going to create inside Rahul user, all those object is going to be saved inside. It will going to use that salary table space, which is not a best
Default table
practice.
space, right?
Yeah, it will going to utilize the default table space, which is not the best practice. Like suppose, uh, let's say you are creating a particular user which is a critical one for your application, and you are not setting a default table space, or
हाँ
you are not
बोलो ना.
creating a default table space. In
एक
such
सेकंड ना.
cases, if there is a huge number of transaction
हाँ
which
बोलो.
is going to perform inside that particular new
हाँ
user,
आवाज आ रही है.
it might be risk for your database also, because you have not created a dedicated
आवाज
table
आ रही है
space
मेरी.
for that particular user. You will not able to monitor properly. Okay, you have to monitor the main table space only every time. In such cases, like it will completely like difficult for identifying, okay, like which particular user is causing the issue, or like what is the point to identify? Okay, suppose if my Rahul user, inside
हाँ
that
हाँ
Rahul
बोलो ना.
user, if I have created 5 to 10 table, okay, and
Okay,
inside that
ठीक है.
table,
चलो.
if I am keep on inserting it,
Yes,
and I have
yes.
not
हाँ.
defined any default table space of that particular user, so it
ठीक
will
है.
going
चलेगा.
to take the
Okay.
table space. By default, it will going to take the salary table space. Suppose salary table space is having a capacity of 700 GB, but the amount of data if I am inserting, and the amount of data if it is more than 800 or 600, like, since let's say in a company scenario where the application testing is happening quite frequent, and application team wanted to perform a testing operation, they wanted to do, no, I wanted to perform the testing operation inside the Rahul user only, and I'm going to create the table and I'm going to insert the data there. So, so you people can take care of the table space, all those parts. So since during the time of creation only, we have not created a dedicated table space. In such case, we have to monitor our main table space. Suppose if we miss that, definitely it will going to impact, right? If we have a free space only 700 GB, and if user wanted to insert around 800 GB of data, it will be a crunch, right? So in that case, we have to increase our salary, uh, like salary table space. And also, since if we have not notified about the space requirement based on the testing, if we have not notified to our operation team or our management, like, okay, like tomorrow morning there will be a testing and they are going to perform the insert operation in that particular table, which are situated inside Rahul schema. In that case, how much GB data is required or how much GB of table space needed, if we have not specified this, so it will going to impact your main table, right? The main table space. It will going to like, since um, by default, if you are having 80% or 70% ASM available inside your disk group, like if 20% or 30% only available in your disk group, where you might have be having 200 or 300 space, so you will not able to increase much in your salary table space. And since you have not notified to your management about the new requirement, and since you have not created a dedicated table space, so something happened to your main table space, it will going to impact your complete database. It will not go only impact your current operation which is performing with the application side. Okay, so that's why assigning a default table space, if it is if it is related to a dedicated user or something which is very important, you are creating newly, it is a best practice. Okay, for user, for named user, like named user in the sense, like, suppose some user who joined your organization, and he just wanted, he is not going to create any object there, he just wanted to perform that read write operation or only read operation. For those user, if it is going on the default table space also, by default, if it is a default table space, then there will be no problem for you. Okay, so till here, any doubt, anyone?
No, Rahul, everything is clear.
Okay.
I just didn't understand this 30 bytes. Is it the memories part, or is it this username can like say 30 bytes?
It's a memory size only, and moreover,
Acha, okay.
like 30 character also we can consider.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
understood.
And what about Ankita and Supriya? You people are having any doubt about this?
No, Rahul, it's fine.
Okay. 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 So, and recording is going on, right? Siddharth.
Yes, Rahul. Yes, Rahul. Recording is going on.
Okay. Okay. So the next one more thing. One minute. I'm getting one call. Like that only there will be a temporary table space. So like temporary table space, as I said, like how important your default table space is, like that also. Like if you are not going to define a temporary table space for a particular user, by default it will going to take the database temporary table space. So like temporary table space, if you are not going to define also, it is not like that much critical, because in most of the organization people do not define a temporary table space for a particular user. It is by default like it will going to take the default database temporary table space. Hope everyone is aware about the temporary table space uses, right? Like what is the use of that
Yeah,
temporary
I
table
mean,
space?
it is just used to store objects level information, right?
Object level information in the sense, like what information?
Meaning table information, whether that particular table is under commit status, or is it insert, or is it the table is getting edited. So only this much information is stored, right, in temporary table space. Or I think I'm wrong on that.
Uh, okay. Uh, Other kick wanted to try. Supriya, Sweta, Ankita. Hello.
I think this temporary table space, these are used for to store the temporary objects like whether tables or views, so that it will be active until the session is active.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Sweta. Hello.
I don't know about it.
Okay. 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 No worries. Ankita, you wanted to try, like why the temporary table space is used? What is the use of temporary table space? Hello. Okay. Fine. So the main operation for the temporary table space is like whenever we are performing a sorting operation. Okay. Sorting in the sense where clause whenever you're giving. So like in memory part, we study about SGA, PGA, UGA, right? Like when we study about the our database architecture.
Yes,
So
yes.
there the use of PGA is program global area, or like mm, where like based on the particular program or based on the particular query, that particular memory structure is used, right, for a particular bunch of query if you are running to perform that particular program. The memory utilization which is needed, that memory area is used. Okay. So this temporary table space is quite related to that also. Okay. So suppose I wanted to perform a operation in a database where a large number of sorting operation need to be performed, like where clause will be there, and condition will be there to extract the data or insert the data in that sort of operation. First, it will going to perform in the PGA part, which is assigned for that particular query. Okay, the moment that PGA area get exhausted, it will going to take that space from the temporary table space. Okay, so if you people have installed the database into your uh, like if you have installed or if you are not installed also, if you are familiar with the database like database console, there if you get the chance, just check the table space utilization. Okay, you will see the utilization of temporary stable space. Most of the time it will remain zero. Okay, if there is no operation which is going, if it is going in your table, in your database, in that case, if even if you assign 5 GB, 10 GB, 20 GB, 500 GB for your table temporary space, it is kind of waste of your space. Okay, it will not going to utilize it. It will going to take, it will be remain zero only. But the moment if there is a high number of sorting operation will be performed inside your database, it will
Yes.
going to take that space. Okay, for performing the sorting operation, it will going to take the perform that sorting operation. Once that operation complete, it will going to release it. Okay, that is the
Okay.
main
So
purpose of this.
only sorting of table. So sorting of table is being used only for sorting purpose.
Sorting for table in the sense based on the operation. Sorting for that,
Okay.
like if there is a query which is running in your database. Okay,
Okay.
if an active session which is running, suppose if I am doing select star from employee. Okay, and I will run the query in your database. So it will not going to utilize your temp table space because there no where clause is present. Okay. Suppose if I am going to run like select a star from employee where employee name equal to Siddharth
Mm-hmm.
and employee ID equal to your employee ID 123. In that case, it has to perform that sorting operation. It will going to do the sorting. To perform that sorting operation, it need a space. Like first, it will check for the PGA. If it has a sufficient PGA, then it will going to perform inside that PGA thing. If that PGA is not sufficient enough to perform that operation, then it will going to take the temporary table space help, and it will going to utilize your temporary table space. Okay,
Okay.
so
So if in
uh,
case
uh-huh.
I'm so sorry for interruption, Rahul. If in
No,
case
no, no, no.
if in case the user gets disconnected due to the power issue or anything like that, and the query was just running, so this particular sorting will happen once the power came back, or anything happens when the user again log in
See,
back to the.
if your session is active, there are two conditions, right? Either your session is inactive, either your session is active. If your session is active, in that
Uh-huh.
case, the operation will continue as it is. It will going to
Okay.
take like what output need to be given. It will wait for it will perform those sorting operation. It will do, and then it will try to give you the output. Suppose if your session is inactive, in that case,
Mm-hmm.
it will go to start, right? Either you have to kill the session to release the
The
space
memory.
or memory area. If it is or if like
Subran le
in most
jao.
of the company like application side only, they are setting the session parameter where like after 5 minutes or 10 minutes, if a session is remaining inactive, it will going to clear the sessions. So either of the way, if it is already there, then it will going to clear it, or else if it is not there, in that case they will going to request a database user to since my system get inactive, kindly kill and clear the system. Okay.
Yes, Rahul. Thank you.
Okay. Till here, any doubt, anyone?
No, no, clear.
Hello. Okay. There are predefined user. Okay. Predefined in the sense when during the time of installation only. Okay. These users will automatically get created. It will
ले जाओ ना.
it hold important roles inside, like performing the database related
किधर
operation,
गए?
like admin kind of operation. So these are accounts like sys. I think you people are aware about the sys DBA or sys operation
चीटियां
which we
खराब.
are doing
शुभ्रा
quite
दीमक लगे
frequently.
पड़े, फेंक
So
दे
this
बाहर ये.
particular
ये देख.
user is having like DBA roles, like all
एक तो
the
खा
roles
लेगा, कुछ कर
he
लेगा
can
नहीं सब यहाँ.
terminate, like he can delete, insert, all those
अरे
operations
यार,
which can perform in the
ले जाए
database.
टेबल.
He has almost everything. Like he can able to do those operations. Okay, with the help of sys user. Like
ये टेबल ले जा.
in here you can see like based on the definition it is mentioned is granted the DBA role as well as serve all other roles, have all privilege with the admin option, is required for startup or shutdown, and some maintenance command for AWR also needed. So like all the basic or all the important tasks we need to perform is performed with the help of sysdb only. Okay. In most of the like where organization where like people restrict their
नहीं हो.
admin rights, so they usually provide you like DBAs to
शुभ्रा, मैं
DBA rules,
मेरे यहाँ
but
तुम बोलो मेरी क्लास चल रही है.
like
तुम्हारा
they
वीडियो कॉल
restrict
खत्म नहीं
this
होगा.
is part
वीडियो
to
कॉल
perform the
उसके
action
बाद
so
होगा,
that
मैं तो बात नहीं
it will
कर
come
रही.
inside audit and all. So, like since with the help of sys, you can able to perform it shutdown. Like with a normal user, if you going to perform that, even though you are a DBA user, if you are going to do that shut immediate, it will not allow you. It will say like insufficient privilege, like to perform this action to shutting down the database. For connecting to your data guard or like the like whenever you're connecting as a sysdba, that time also those things needed. Like the system user is needed. Okay, system user is like if you people have heard about the password file when we are discussing about database architecture. Okay, during that time that password file is nothing but it is keeping the password of the system user. Okay, what is based on that password file or based on that credential only, if any other user wanted to connect to your database or if any other database like DR database you wanted to connect with DC, that particular password file is needed, and that particular password file is nothing but it is containing the information of the system user, like credentials. It is containing the credentials of system user. Okay. Then DBSNMP account. It is for OEM monitoring. Like if in some of the organization where OEM is configured, so to checking the utilization of the database and all those things is managed with the help of this user. Okay. Then sysman is for mainly management user or resource or related to catalog role. So when I'm talking about the catalog role is kind of creating a directories when you're trying to select a directory or create a directory. Then this particular branch like select catalog role, and those roles are needed. Okay, so these are roles are assigned to sysman whenever you perform the installation of the database. So these users will by default it will going to be created, and it is having a certain level of privileges and grants. Okay, so these are the predefined administrative account. Okay, so like this is all about the users and user management and the importance of user. So Siddharth, if you open your database, can you share your screen once?
Yes. So Rahul, you have to let me know that Ming setting one more time.
Ah, you share your screen.
Yeah.
Till now, anyone any doubt? People, please respond here.
No, Rahul.
Okay, okay. Fine. Go to explain.
Okay. So this is active. I'll go to X menu.
First, open the explain.
It's,
I think your Notepad plus
yes.
plus snipping tool is coming in between.
Is
Yes.
this visible?
Finish. You finish it. No, this. No.
Rahul, I'm getting a call. Just give me like 20 minutes. I'm just getting a call.
Ah,
Okay. Yeah.
okay. Okay.
Just yeah.
Shweta and Supriya, like you people has installed the database in your personal system.
Yes, I have.
So, have you tried creating user or stuff in your laptop?
No, not yet. Actually, I'm in the starting phase. Presently learning about S1, P1, SBA, BGA, and all that.
Okay.
And
Okay.
when when I'm learning, I'm getting breaks very that not in a continuous phase. So
No
if I
worries. No
enroll,
worries. No worries.
so if I
दिख रहा है
enroll
क्या
in
screen?
some class or something, I might be
Screen
in a
दिख रहा है क्या?
continuous phase. So I join.
Okay. Okay. No worries. No worries. And what about you, Supriya? Like you are also into Oracle database, right? Currently.
No, actually, I'm into SQL, that SQL Server database.
Okay, SQL database. Okay. Okay. So it is also quite same only, but architecture wise quite different.
Yeah, architecture is
Oracle database.
different.
So have you get chance
ये ज्ञानेश्वर
to
भाई 315
like
के आगे लिख दूं क्या?
install database in your laptop or anywhere? Like
Oh, I haven't installed the database in laptop. I just went through the
नहीं
architecture, which you
मैं इसकी बात कर
explained.
रहा हूँ ये 447
okay,
का.
okay, okay. Okay. We like we have performed the installation in Siddharth laptop. So like this
Okay.
laptop we will use as a testing purpose, like all the user creation and all. We can able to test it here. Okay. No worries. And, if possible, like if your laptop is having a proper configuration, I'll request you people can perform the installation part also. I'll upload the video, and it is like we did like uh, quite more R&D. After that, only it got resolved. Like after performing the installation, few
Hmm.
compatibility issue we faced. And after resolving that, like I'll prepare the proper video so that what are the version you have to take and what are the worst version you have to take and how to do the Oracle database installation so that it will be easier for you guys to practice after the classes. And one more
Yes,
thing,
well,
like what is the configuration you have
तो
in your laptop?
करण भाई और
I have
अजय
21
भाई
C
एक बार
object.
इसका फॉलोअप ले लेना. हमने फॉलोअप डाला है, रिप्लाई
Like
आया है, बट
hard drive
वो
and
वाला
RAM,
रिप्लाई नहीं है जो
how
हमको
much?
रिप्लाई चाहिए. तो एक बार आप लोग फॉलो.
Hard disk, storage, how much you have
नहीं, अभी हुआ नहीं है,
in your laptop?
है ना. ये एक नया टीआर फट गया है, ये 447, इसका मैंने ईमेल डाल दिया है.
Supriya,
एक बार एप्लीकेशन टीम से एक बार
like
फॉलोअप ले
what
लेना.
is the
शाम को फटा है ये
hard disk of
447,
your laptop
और ये अपन में से किसी ने भी नहीं किया.
and the RAM you have, so that
नहीं,
whether you will able to perform, able to install in your personal laptop or not. Minimum 8 GB is required, I believe.
I have this 8 GB RAM and 256 GB
यस यस, डाल
storage
दिया डाल दिया.
SSD.
फॉलोअप ले लेना बस.
56 GB, it is quite less. Okay, installation you can do it, but practice you will not able to perform.
I have the extended hard drive of 1 TB.
Extended, but I doubt extended will support for the installation part. We'll see.
ठीक
We'll
है.
check.
और
We'll check.
ये
If it will support,
Rahul,
then we'll do it.
Rahul, I have a question. So
Uh-huh.
S1 and P1 we use in Oracle, right?
Mm-hmm.
How can we know when to use S1 or when to use P1, and what is the difference in between using those two?
ये ना.
Okay. First, you have to understand, like this process we are not using. This is the background process of the Oracle. Whenever you are going to start your database, no, it will going
Yes,
to
but
or
we
it
are.
will auto. Uh-huh.
Yeah, how can we know what to open, S1 or P1,
No, no.
to check if the
As
database
I
is running or not?
as I said, it is not like individually you are going to start that background processor. When I'm talking about the background processor, if I'll initiate that startup command, okay, it will going to
Mm-hmm.
start your database. The moment it will going to start the database, this background process automatically will start. It will automatically start Pmon Smon. So to check, if you wanted to check it, for checking that you just have to do ps-es grep Pmon or grep Smon. You can able to check whether that particular process is running or not. Okay. In ideal
Yes,
scenario, your both
yes,
process should
but
run.
my husband asked me this question like a
Uh,
week back or sometime.
uh,
You're checking whether database S1 or Pmon is running, okay, but how can you know whether you need to check S1 or Pmon? I didn't answer that question. When I'm not answering, I'm again at S1, Pmon, SGA, PGA, same phase, not moving further.
okay. Uh, like I see your process. S1 is mainly used for your instance monitoring. If your instance is down, okay.
Okay.
So this process help you. First, you have to understand what is the purpose of this both the background process. Okay. Process
Okay.
monitor is mainly used for monitoring the processes. Processes in the sense
Okay.
like what are the background process which is running. Okay. It will take care of that. Okay. Whereas SMON is mainly for the instance recovery or instance. Suppose if your SMON is down, let's say you check like PS-EF grep SMON. Okay. And
Yes.
you didn't find that particular process, which means your instance is also down at the same time. If you
Okay.
kill the S1, your instance will get shut down immediately. Like it is kind of instance monitoring. Whereas PMON is also important, but it is kind of like it is monitoring the background processes which is running inside your database. Like suppose if any of the process which is in the zombie state, or which is what we are saying, which is not in idle scenario, or which need to be released, or which need to be terminated, all those things are taken care by pmon. So pmon is something like if you kill also, it will automatically try to bring up itself. Okay. So
Okay.
in your scenario, like in which cases you have to check pmon or smon. The first thing, the moment you will run this connect your database, you will do ps-ef grep pmon. Okay. So if you are seeing the
Okay.
pmon is running, fine. If you are seeing your pmon is not running, which means the background process or process monitoring is not running properly. Okay. That process is not running. In that case, you will try for the you can check like ps-ef grep smon. Why smon? Because smon is used for the instance recovery. So it will check whether your database is also running or not. Suppose your smon and pmon both didn't run, which means your database is down. But you
Okay.
can also check you can connect to the database and you can try, but it will be down because if your pmon or smon both process get terminated, which means your database somehow it went down.
Okay. And PMON starts automatically if we shut down the database and start it again if it gets killed or something like that, right?
Uh, Pmon, even Smon will start automatically. You don't have
SMON
to.
also will start. Okay.
Uh, as I said, these are background process. You don't have to perform external effort for starting this background process. Okay. This
Okay.
process is like, as I said, Smon is the purpose of this Smon is for the instance recovery. Okay. Let's say
Yes.
if you are having two node track. Okay. If any of your
करण
node
भाई अंजू
will
भाई
go
आप लोग
down,
के डीबी
okay,
अपग्रेड हो गए थे कल?
or if your
हाँ.
database get interruptedly it get down, okay, it didn't
Okay.
went down properly, like you didn't shut down, it automatically went down, and some operation is going on. So this instance, S1 only is going to help to check like what are the operations which you are performing during that time, which need to be rolled back or roll forward or roll backward. I think if your husband has discussed about this thing, like roll forward or roll backward, because roll
If I
forward is
go for roll, if I go for roll forward, roll backward, he asks so many questions. I can't be able to answer those many questions.
roll forward is
I need
something
to
like
learn
suppose.
about it.
No worries. Like let's say there is 20,000 record which you have inserted, okay, and out of 25,000 you have committed only 10,000, okay, and
Okay.
another 10,000 you have not committed, and your instance get crashed. The moment your instance will come up, na, it will check what are the records which are committed. It will going to move it to the from redo log to like your data part. Like it will going to commit those operations and it will write it to your database. So that process of writing those committed transaction is known as roll forward, and the transaction which didn't get committed, that process is known as roll backward.
Okay.
It is kind of database maintenance, you can say, or like database like itself. It is checking those things and performing these actions so that people will like it will be more easier for the people who is using the database. So, and let me do it. So,
Okay.
any other doubt related to architecture or anything? Anyone? Meanwhile, Siddharth will finish his part.
And I have a question like, if SMON is killed in single instance database, will it come up or we need to do anything?
If you click it, it will go come out. It will automatically try to bring up like your database. It will go, like it will try to bring up your database. That's it.
Okay.
But if
Otherwise, is there any need to do any
it is
patching or something?
patching is not see to perform if there is any abrupt shutdown. If you're killing that particular process, which means you are doing abrupt shutdown.
Okay.
Ideal scenario in production environment, it was never recommended to perform this kind of things. Like if you're killing
Mostly
any,
in production environment, there will be many nodes, right? If one node gets down, immediately other nodes will work. But I'm asking about single instance database where only one node
huh,
is there.
see in production also single node instance is also running. Like there are in
Okay.
production where rack environment is also there and single node instance also running. So it was never recommended to perform even if you are performing in your UAT environment or test environment. It was not recommended to kill any process. Okay, when we are performing this killing kind of thing, when your database gets stuck, you perform to do the shutdown, and you will not able to do it. Like even though you did the shutdown of database, that process is not getting released. In that case, only you are going to do it. Okay. In there
Okay.
are chances if you are killing your database, that particular process, there are chances of instance crash also. Okay,
Okay.
because because is like it is not a proper shutdown, right? You are killing it.
Yes.
So what all the things which is running in the background, it is getting interrupted. So there are chances your data file might get corrupted. Your any of the important file get corrupted. So in that case, if you the next time if you try to bring up your database, there are chances it will tell like this file got corrupted. You need to recover it and then perform it or make this file online offline. So it was never recommended to kill any background process.
Okay.
And sorry, one more thing. If you kill that test mode, it will not going to bring up the database automatically. It will terminate your database.
Okay.
Like it will like shut about kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. Hmm. And sometimes if we don't shut down the database properly and leave it like that, it will
Hmm.
get shut about it, right?
No, it will not going to shut about automatically because database there are database which is running more than 300 days, 500 days, 600 days. It will not shut about automatically unless until there is a background something wrong with your database, like something goes wrong, some utilization might be high, CPU might be high, memory might be high. Then only it will shut about. Yeah, it will go get interpreted and it will bring down your database.
Okay.
If everything is normal, everything is good, your database run as it is.
Okay.
Like in normal scenario also, you just try to understand. Like suppose in a production, okay, let's say your Facebook is running, right? You are logged into your Facebook,
Okay.
okay. So have you seen Facebook going offline anytime? No, right?
No.
Because
Uh,
their
Actually,
database
I
is
left.
uh,
Mhm. Okay. Okay. Continue.
huh. because in the background their database is continuously running. It is not like there is a maintenance time which is scheduled when they are bringing down the database. If there is a proper outage there or something goes wrong, then only your Facebook or
Yes,
Gmail
yes,
or
कर रहा
all this application will go. So
Okay.
if everything goes normal, it will not
हाँ
going to
हो गया
abort, right? It will not going to
हाँ ये
bring down
टेबल
the
स्पेस वाला,
database.
ये सॉरी ये
And if your
थ्री
Okay.
database is running,
यस
then your
यस यस
application will
ये
also
वाला
continue.
कविता देख रही है, हमारे जब अवेलेबल होगी तब चेक कर लेना एक
Okay,
बार।
many times when practicing, I leave it like
ये
that
बैकअप
and
आपको
go and do
चलाना
some
है
other work and come back.
1480
Before
वाला,
that, if my
1482 का
husband
अभी
sees it,
आज
he
रात को
gives me a
11:30 बजे।
class. That's why I got this doubt.
यस मैनुअली चलाना है ऑटो से।
Like there might be
यस
chances memory might be going high or something like that. And since you have configured in your VM instance, huh? And he might be recommending because uh, if
Shut it properly and go and do your works like that.
so every time you are shutting down your database or like it is like closing the console.
I'm
Either you
not I'm not closing or anything. I'm just leaving it like that and doing my works. And it takes like half an hour or 1 hour leaving like that. And if he observes that, he gives me a class.
okay. But in normal scenario, there will be no problem as such. Like if a database is running, it will running as such. But if some operation is because like see in
और
production
ठीक है,
the database is
ये
running
वाला
as it
एक
is,
बार
right?
एलसीएस से
Every time
चेंज
you
कर
are not
लेना, हम
going
लोग
to
ने डाला
open your
है।
console and check.
आप एक
Database will run.
हाँ
Your putty session, even if you are not connected to your putty session, if you don't connect with the putty session with your database, it will run as usual, right? It will not going to go down. There might be
In
the
production, if we leave like that, after some time it shuts by itself and says, no database connection, please check it or
ha,
something like that.
that putty session it might be getting inactive, but it doesn't mean your database. If you put
Okay.
this session, it is kind of connection, right? It is waiting for 5 minutes, 10 minutes. If you are not
Okay.
performing that, then it will going to go inactive. But that database will not go down. So he might be recommending you to close the putty session, not the database.
Okay.
That is it done?
यस 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 यस
So Priya and Ankita, you people are not having any doubts, right? Anything related to architecture or anything as such.
No doubt, but I don't have any doubt. No.
यस सेशन इज ऑल्टर्ड।
So we will type that.
यहाँ बना ही हुआ है।
No,
यस यूजर इज क्रिएटेड।